Hi, my spectacular speakers, and welcome to the Sensational Speakers Lounge Show. I'm Deborah Northcutt, your speaker support concierge. Do you wonder why I always say, welcome to this? No, do you wonder why I always say, welcome, my spectacular speakers? It's because I have a Facebook group called Support for Spectacular Speakers. And if you're a speaker, I would love for you to come and join my Facebook group. Today, I have a guest speaker, and she is going to talk about three myth busting truths about social media. I don't know about you, but social media can be a mystery sometimes and also a time suck. Now, what do I mean when I say a time suck? You know how you can get on social media and you say, I'm only going to be on here for 1 hour, and you look up and 2 hours and 3 hours have already passed? That's what I mean about it can be a time suck. Now, let me know where you're watching from and make sure that you leave comments or questions below, and I'll make sure that I will answer them. And please give StreamYard permission for us to see your comments. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Now, if you're watching a replay of this live, make sure that you leave comments and questions, and I'll circle back and answer those comments and questions for you. And feel free to share this live with another spectacular speaker or your family and fans. Now, I have a free gift of 24 money making activities that I can do for you. Now, I'm going to put that up here on the screen. So go to bit.ly/support activities for your free gift. That's bit.ly/support activities. So make sure that you download your free gift. The link is also in the description if you don't get a chance to write this down. Now, I have a couple of questions I want to ask you. Have you ever thought that being on social media would give you instant results? And do you think that you should be posting multiple times per day to keep your customers engaged? And also, have you ever thought that social media was free? Yeah, I thought those things myself too. Now, I have a social media strategist that I'm going to bring on board, but first, I'm going to read her bio. The person that I have the pleasure of bringing to the stage is a speaker and founder of Serve, Share, Shine, and co founder of the Influencers Journey Show. Her commitment to empower coaches, consultants, and thought leaders to step boldly from behind the scenes and shine and attract who they are called to serve. She is known for real social media strategies designed to fuel your business, capture your authentic message, and position you as an influencer in the marketplace. If you're ready to move from frustration to a clear and authentic social media strategy that you can immediately apply, get on your feet. Help me welcome to the stage the social media strategist, Taria Hodge. Welcome, Taria.
Wow. Hi, Deborah. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you? But wait a second. I have, and if I can bring it up, I thought I had it. I had some applause for you that I was going to bring up, but I can't find it right now. So we will go
It's
ahead. I'm
okay.
doing wonderful, Taria, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming on to the Sensational Speakers Lounge show.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure, and I'm super excited to be here and to be able to have this conversation with your spectacular speaker. So, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are quite welcome. Well, let's get started. The first thing I want to ask you, Taria, is could you tell us a little about yourself in terms of your background in social media?
Oh yes, oh my gosh, and this is such a true story. So even though I'm a social media strategist, I have to be honest and let everyone know that I did not like social media. So I was not one of those people when social media first came out, Black Planet and all of those other platforms that they had out there that willingly jumped at the opportunity to get onto social media. I kind of hung back, behind the scenes and checking everything out, and I actually came to social media kicking and screaming. And so I had to do a little bit of research, on my own to find out exactly what is it about social media and is it the right thing for me, to do? Should I join? Which networks should I join? Because once again, I was that person like, do I really need to get on here? Do I really need to share all of these personal things about myself? And so that's my background in social media.
Oh, wonderful, Taria. I like when you said you were kicking and screaming to
Yeah,
the grass.
it was one of those things. I remember that working at the time, I was still working, in my corporate job, and all
Mhm,
of my coworkers, they were getting accounts and everything, and I was just so reluctant about it. But one of the things when I stepped over into my journey of entrepreneurship, I
mhm,
really had to take a look at social media. One of the things that I realized as I started to do networking in my business is that a lot of people were actually checking each other out and checking me out on social media. So people
mhm.
started right there in the networking events asking, which social media platforms are you on? Are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn? Where can they find me online? And so that was the catalyst for me to go ahead and just take a look at social media deeper. And so I entered it, into the space and knowledge of knowing that it could potentially be a very powerful business tool.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. I agree. Now, were you an overnight success in social media or did you have to work at it?
Oh, heck no. A 10-year overnight success, if
Oh,
you want to
my.
put it that way.
Yeah, we think we can just get on social media and start posting and we're going to get everybody liking our stuff and everyone's going to join us and follow, and it doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. It's a lot more work and a lot more to it than people think. Can you
Yeah. So
tell us? I'm
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just about to say social media, it's one of those, very interesting things. Like I said, for me, I was the person who came onto it kicking and screaming. And then very quickly, once I entered into entrepreneurship and I started to look at social media as a tool, I started to recognize the power behind
Mhm,
of social media. And so
mhm,
as I started to implement certain strategies for myself, one of the things that I started to do earlier on in my business was to show other entrepreneurs how to utilize the power of social media. Now, truth be told, Deborah, I'm 13 years, into the game.
mhm.
So imagine 13 years ago, people were still kicking and screaming, wondering why would they get on social media? I think social
Yeah,
media is just a fad. It's
yeah.
going to go away. They didn't see the purpose. And I spent a lot of time convincing people why they should take a look at
Mhm,
social media.
mhm.
And fast forward, like I said, 13 years later, now almost every entrepreneur understands and knows that you definitely need to have concrete strategies, for social as part of your marketing if you want to go ahead and grow your business. So it's definitely a very powerful tool. And I'm seeing the comments out there. Rixie is saying social media is powerful. It definitely is. Now, here's the thing about being an overnight success. Deborah, I have tried, countless things. And like I said, I came into the game about 13 years ago when things were a lot easier on social media than they are now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I remember the days where just because you were on social media, people were very excited. You could put up an offer, you could offer ebook, you could offer a low ticket product, and even for some of
Mhm.
us who offered products that had like a nice price tag on it, you could literally put those things out there on
Yeah.
social media and create success just because of the share numbers. And one of the things that happened in social media is more and more people began to get wind of the platform and realize that it is one of the best tools, especially for new entrepreneurs, small business owners, those people who want to be able to position in the marketplace like big companies.
Mhm.
Social media levels a playing field, for everyone. So I've definitely had a lot of success on social media, quite a bit of failures on social media,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's one of those things that keeps evolving and it keeps changing. And right now, we're in the midst of another change again, on social media. So, in order to be successful on social media, you have to make that commitment, to do what I always say, show up. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's consistency right there. You have to be consistent. It should not be an afterthought in your business. Like I said, if you want to create success and you're looking to market your business more, you should have strong strategies in your business for social media.
I agree. Now, you had made a statement before, Tria. You said that when you first started on social media, how easy it was to sell things on social media, how
Hmm.
people took, gave you your email addresses for ebooks and whatever. But now I find that, and it could be just me thinking this way, but do you feel that social media is oversaturated right now? It's harder. It's just harder to, I feel, to get to people, to get people to do things, to buy things, or to even give you their email addresses now. It's because so many people are on social media, and I'm wondering, are people just having social media fatigue? If there is, if there is
Oh,
such a thing.
yeah, it is such a thing because,
Okay.
I want to say, as over this holiday season, I can't tell you how many accounts that I've seen with people say that they're taking a social media break or they're purging from social media for a little bit. So definitely it is one of those things that the more and more entrepreneurs and business owners, got a hold of the potential of social media, that they
Mhm.
started looking at it, like I said, as a serious tool, as a serious way to position your business. And just like everything else, once more and more people enter into the space, then it becomes challenging. And the good things about having a challenge, I should say, the one good thing about having a challenge is that it forces us to grow. So, as entrepreneurs, business owners, one of the things that we need to be able to do is to know how to stay ahead of the time. So just like you're taking a look at, your business, and you take a look at your products, your positioning in the marketplace, you take a look at your competition and you do your forecasting, all of that wonderful stuff, right? Social media is no different. So you have to be able to stay on top of the things that are happening, what's changing. Okay, and how do you need to adapt, your strategy to move along with the changing times? But yes, Deborah, more and more people are on social media, more and more people are offering products and services. Is like
Yeah.
almost, you cannot be on any social media platform now and you not see ads for everything. So the ads are all over the place. People are positioning stuff. And how do you, like I said, the question is, how do you make yourself stand out in the
Right.
marketplace and do what I call attract our divine clients? So
Mhm.
hopefully we'll be able to talk a little bit about that today.
Okay, wonderful. Now, here's a question. The title of of the show is the three myth busting myths about social media. Can you tell us what are those three myth busters in social media that you can share with us?
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it because I think like we started a conversation already. So the first thing is what a lot of people think is that great graphics create success in social media.
Mhm.
So how many of you out there spend a lot of time, and I would like to hear from your spectacular speakers too. So
Yes.
if you guys have questions, comments, drop them inside of the comment section and I'll make sure that I read them because I can see them. So, how many of you think that it's great branding that creates success on social media? So, when I say great branding, what I mean is you have to have the perfect imagery. So, you spend all of this time looking perfect on social media.
Yes.
And people have a tendency to think that it's the perfection, the perfect pictures that create success on social media, or they have to have the perfect promotional images, and they
Hmm.
spend a lot of time and they also spend a lot of money creating these things.
Yep.
Okay. And so one of the things that I found, and that I'm going to say it's a first myth that I'm busting, that having great promotional graphics is what actually creates your success on social media. So I'm not here to say that you should not have these things. As speakers, you need to have a professional headshot. You should have that. Deborah, I know you talk about that all the time.
I
You
do.
should show up looking professional in your business,
Hmm.
definitely. But that's not the thing that's going to create your success. Okay. So here's the thing that I've learned, and I've experienced this myself. A lot of people are actually hiding behind of their branding material. So what do I mean by hiding behind of your branding material? Like I said, your branding looks perfect. When you go to your Instagram, you got the Instagram grid, your color scheme is there, your colors, your logo is fire, your flyers look great. But here's the problem. Your audience doesn't really know who you are because you are hiding behind of your branding material. So there's no humanity behind of your brand. And here's the thing, people aren't going to connect with your images. They're not going to connect with your marketing flyers. What people want to do is they want to connect to the person behind the brand. So this is one of the things that I talk about all the time, is that we have to stop hiding on social media, and we actually have to show up on social media. So that's the first myth. Now,
Oh,
oh, okay, I see you come
oh,
back.
I just wanted to say something when
Uh-huh.
when you were
You were
talking
talking
about
about
hiding. Hello. I
me too.
yes, I had to learn and listen to you, Taria, that you do have to show up. It's not all about selling, it's about putting yourself out there, people getting to know you, getting to know who you are, what do you look like, what do you stand for, how can you help me? Yeah, you definitely have to show up and stop hiding behind
Yeah, so like I said,
graphics.
true story. I was that person for years.
Yeah.
My, profile picture was my logo. Can you just imagine that, my logo? You came to my business page, you did not see Taria. What you saw was my logo. And then
Mhm.
sometimes you wonder, like, why, isn't my business going to the next level? It's because people, like I said, there's a lot of competition out there in the marketplace. A lot of people, I'm not the only social media person in the
Mhm.
world. There are thousands of people who do what I do, or offer similar type services that I do in my business. So the question
Mhm.
becomes, what makes me stand out from the other people that do similar things that I do on my business? So I had to remove the logo. I had to put a face, to the brand. And I also had to put humanity to the brand. I had to put what I call emotional branding. I had to learn how to connect with the heart and soul of my audience.
Mhm. That's true. You do. You do. So that was your first myth buster. What is
hmm
your second myth buster?
So it ties right into number one.
Okay.
So the second myth buster is, because there are billions of people on social media, you'll automatically be successful. So we talked about this in the beginning. I came into social media the days where you could run an ad, and I remember running an ad, Deborah, and my ad spend was
Oh
$9.56.
my.
Okay, $9.56. And let me tell you, that was one of the most successful ad campaigns that I have ever ran in my life. Because did I say the ad spend was $9.56, not
Wow.
even $10?
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
And I generated over five figures from
Woo.
that less than $10 ad spend. Now,
Wow.
what I want to say is, I wish that those days will come back. But once again, it's positioning. And because there's a lot of people on social media, we tend to think that we could just put stuff out there and are talking to everyone, and nothing could be further from the truth. And so one of the things that I know that you guys, your spectacular speakers, have heard before is that if you are on social media and you feel that you are talking to everyone, or you think the secret to success is to talk to everyone, I'm going to tell you that's not it. So you're not on social media to speak to everyone. You have to spend the time in identifying your audience. You have to spend the time in identifying those people who you are called to serve. So, how well do you know what I call your divine clients? And so, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time and talking about this, because this is one of the things that has definitely changed in the social media world. So, in marketing, I know we are all taught to identify our ideal clients. And when you identify your ideal clients, you have to know the demographics of your ideal clients, right? So we all have to know whether we serve male or females. We have to know, the age range. Are your ideal clients between the ages of 25 to 45? Are they 46 to 55? Are they 55 and older? You have to know what that is, okay? So they would even say you have to know what location they're in. Do they have kids? That 2.5 kids, all of that good stuff. So, yes, that's information that you should know on your divine clients. And then one of the things that they also teach us is that you also have to know the psychographics of your divine clients or your ideal clients as well, right? And so your psychographics is, what are the pain points? What are the things that they struggle with on a regular basis? What's the pain that your company, your business can solve for them? Do you know what that is? And I like to call it the 2 a.m. problem. So do you know the thing that keeps your ideal client up at night? Now, I'm going to take that just a little bit further, Deborah, and
Mhm.
I go a little bit deeper in talking about our divine clients, okay? And so, our divine clients, once again, are those people that we have that heart to heart, that soul to soul connection. And I know a lot of people, when I say this, they're like, well, that's impossible. How can I know the heart and soul of thousands of people who I'm called to serve? Okay, and this is where social media gets very interesting and very fun, because it gives you the opportunity to learn more about your audience. Okay, so not only can you identify their pain points, but you also know, the transformation that they want to receive. Okay,
Mhm.
you're able to mirror their language. So when you put your content out into the marketplace, people are like, oh my gosh, you are speaking to me. I
Right.
saw myself, in your content, whether it's a video or it's a text post. Can people see themselves inside of your content? And so once you really dig down and get deep into it, that's what I call your divine client. And so that's the work that we are all charged with on social media, is for us not to speak to millions of people, but to identify the people that we are truly divinely called to serve.
Oh, Taria, that is so hard. I hate filling out that demographics paper, and I know I know what you just said, and you do need to fill that out in order to know who your clients are, to understand them completely. Now, I know a lot of people, they haven't done that. They don't really know who their clients are because they're all over the place, and you don't need to post all over the place. You just need to find out where are your clients hanging out? And that used to throw me too. And now I know that means, are they on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Pinterest, Instagram? You need to find out exactly where your clients are so you can, as you said, talk to them and not wear yourself out trying to be on every single social media platform, because every single social media platform, your clients may not be there. And that comes with doing the work, with a lot of us don't want to do. And I have to say, I'm guilty of that
Yeah,
myself.
so
So yeah.
I wanna add another thing because
Hmm.
I heard you say something, and you said that it seems like work, and I'm just gonna say it is work, and it is
Hmm.
work that we all should be in a continuous process of doing. So the work of identifying who we're called to serve is actually a process. So what I've learned, and this is the world according to Ria. So one of the things that I've learned to start with the demographics.
Okay.
So you start with your demographics and then you start with your psychographics. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But it gets really interesting and it gets to be a whole lot of fun when you start off with clients and you've gotten clients, you've worked with clients, and you take a look at your client base and then you say, oh my gosh, who is my perfect client?
Hmm.
And so I'm just going to ask your spectacular speakers, how many of them have ever done that? Like, take a look at their business, take a look at their client roster, and then look and say, who are my perfect client, or who is my perfect client? And so if you had to choose one person to fill your business with, who would that one person be? Okay. And then
Hmm.
after you've identified that one person, then you start to take a look at the demographics. You start to look at the thing that they struggled with. You start to take a look at the things that you offered, to help them overcome their challenges and get to their solution. What solution did you have to offer, or what solution did you have to create in order to serve that perfect client? And then you're able to turn around and take that information and find more people like that person. Okay.
Okay.
And so that's the secret, to it. And that's why the work is so important. And people really need to, take a look at it, as you continue into your business. Like, oh, how is this person, that this client, how is this client coming through my buyer's journey?
Hmm.
Okay, and in each step, you take a look at the things that they're challenged with, the things that you offer to help them overcome their problem, the solutions that you offer, and then in your marketing, you position to find more people like them. Because I'm going to tell you, Deborah, there's nothing worse than having a business filled with not so right fit clients. And so that's the
Oh,
things that we all want to take a look at. We will
mhm.
always want to make sure that we have right fit clients or divine
Right.
clients in our business.
I agree 100%. Excuse me. Now, do you have a third tip, or was that your final tip? That was your final tip?
The final myth that I'm
Okay.
busting, and it goes back to the stress and overwhelm that we were talking about in the beginning, is that
Mhm.
you don't have to show up everywhere at all times to be successful on social media. And I want everyone to get this, because I know definitely when I started, we had a posting schedule, and the thing was, you needed to show up on Facebook 3 to 5 times a day to be successful. You needed to show up on LinkedIn at least 3 times a week to be successful. You needed to have a YouTube video at least once a week to be successful. And then, yes, when it came to Twitter, you needed to have about 6 to 9 tweets going out each day. On Instagram, 3 to 5 posts on Instagram. And it's just like, after you do all of that, where do you have time to actually work in your business? So flooding your timeline with content, and I'm just going to use that word for the lack of a better word, would not make you successful. So let me say that again. Just posting arbitrarily on your timelines isn't the thing that's going to make you successful. So what makes us actually successful on social media is, after we have identified our divine clients, is starting and engaging in the conversations that matter to them. Okay, so once again, if you know, or you have been able to identify the pain or the struggle that they have, the challenges that they want to be able to break free from. You know the transformation that they want to have in their life. You know their desires, where they want to be. How do you show up on social media, being that resource that would allow them to achieve those things? And so it's about creating those connecting conversations inside of the marketplace, whether you have those connecting conversations via video, whether you're putting out your blog, whether you're posting text based information, or you're putting out reels, short videos. How are you showing up as a resource for your audience? And so those are my 3 myths that
Okay, great. To everything that you're saying, I can say that I've been told that's a dog whistle. You put out that information specifically for your divine client, and that's a dog whistle. Actually, that they hear and only they hear because it's specific to them. Now, Taria, are there any tools,
I'm
websites?
just about to say, I like to call it not a dog whistle. I
Okay.
don't like
That's what I know
that.
you don't like it, but that's what I've always been told. A dog whistle. Okay, so what's a
So
better word?
here's a better one. It's like
Okay,
having a tuning fork.
a
So
tuning fork.
if you have a
Okay.
tuning fork and you hit your tuning fork, it actually puts out a vibration into the
Mm,
atmosphere.
I like
Okay.
that.
And
Yeah.
that vibration, attracts the people who feel it on that certain level.
Yeah.
So when I look at it, it's like, what's the vibes that I'm going to put out on social media? And the
Mhm.
vibes that I put out there actually attract my people to come back, to me. So I definitely like the tuna fork analogy better than the dog whistle.
Okay, I'm zipping. Dog whistle is gone. I will not use dog whistle again, even though that's what people always said to me. So, final question, Taria: are there any other juicy tips, tricks, or secrets at this point that we need to know about?
Yeah, so one of the things that I'm going to share with our spectacular speakers today is to make sure you take some time and create your plan. So, and I'm hoping that all of our sensational speakers have done this, have
Mm,
taken the last couple weeks of the ending of 2022 or the beginning of this year to start to work on their business goals. And
yeah.
so, as part of your business goals, you should be taking a look and laying out your social media goals. So, what are the
Mm,
things that you want to accomplish in your social media this year? And here's a hint: your social media goals should be supporting your business goals. So, in other words, how can you use social media in your business to help you achieve your overarching business goals? So,
oh, I
that's the
love
first
that.
thing. And then the second thing, after you have determined your goals or you laid out your goals, you want to go ahead and start to work on your plan. So oftentimes, Deborah, I see a lot of people getting into the social media space or jumping on social media because it's a thing that
Mhm.
everyone is doing, or it's a thing that people said that they need to do, or I know I should be doing it, but I don't necessarily know what to do on here, but I'm going to get on here, anyway. So spend some time, and take a look and create your plan for social media. So as you move through your year, you would know exactly what are the things that you are going to commit to do on social media. And so that's one of the best tips that I have, is just having a clear on and concrete plan and working the plan. Because if you get on there and then there's no clear plan, then whenever you hit those bumps, those hiccups, things come up, it's so easy, to put social media on the back seat.
It is. I agree with that 100%. Well, Taria, that's the end of our show for today. I want to thank you for such a great interview. Now, I'm sure all the speakers and listeners have gotten a ton of value from the tips and social media advice that you had given. Now, how can people stay in contact with you, Taria?
Yes. So for your sensational speakers who would like to stay connected, we do have a Facebook community, and our Facebook community is called Storytelling for Super Achievers. And so we do a live influencers journey show every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So I would like to invite your sensational speakers to join us in Storytelling for Super Achievers. That's one way. And then, as a free gift, I would like to offer everyone the opportunity to get the 3 myth busting truths about social media, the full training. So, I'm giving that as my gift today. So, Deborah, you have the link up on the screen. Thank you so much for
I
that.
do.
And so, if you want to have access to that training, just go ahead, click on the link, register, and then the videos are there. So that's the full entire training. I know I just touched on just a little piece or little pieces today, but you could get that full training. And lastly, if you would allow me to, for those of you who would like to have a deeper conversation on what it takes to create your content plan for 2023, I would love to invite you to talk about it. So you could schedule a discovery call, a 30-minute complimentary call with me by going to bit.ly/SMS discovery and just select your date and your time, and we could have a conversation around it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Taria. I'm going to end my show, but don't go.
Okay.
Okay, hang in there. So that concludes my show for today. Thank you so much for watching the Sensational Speakers Lounge show. And thank you again to my guest, Taria Hodge. I go live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time here on the Sensational Speakers Lounge show. I'm Deborah Northcutt, your speaker support concierge. Thank you for watching. Bye for now and have a wonderful week.